I am your Lord God, worship me and no other. That is clear. There's no riddle to that. Imagine 114 surahs. Every ayat is similar to that. No man wrote that. No man wrote that. Clear, explicit statements. I know sometimes, people try to say the justification for Jesus being God. I was a Christian. They say he was the Word with him, the Word was God. It just sounds kind of, like a riddle in a sense. I'm looking for a clear statement where Jesus says, I am God. I am the Son of God, worship me. Never hear that statement. In Exodus, you have a verse in the Bible where it says, no one can see him and stay alive. Timothy, no one has seen his face or heard his voice. Mark, no one has ever seen him or ever heard his voice. These are explicit statements, basically adding proof that Jesus couldn't be God. Because if no one ever seen him, he could stay alive. No one ever seen his face or heard his voice. If Jesus was God, he would be a walking plague. Everywhere you go, people would see him, just collapse, hear his voice, just die. This is the same understanding that we have as Muslims. No one has ever seen Allah. And the only one that was worthy to hear his voice, and we can agree as Muslims and Christians, is Moses, right? Moses was the only one that spoke to him, right? So this is something we can agree upon. When I have conversations with my family, I always try to speak on something we can agree upon and end the conversation on something we agree upon. So being everybody shook their head and say yes, I'm going to stop right there.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'd like to know what the reaction of your family was when you told them about this change, and also how the industry itself reacted to you becoming a Muslim.
Another good question. And I think that a lot of people who are non-Muslim that are interested in Islam are more concerned about what the family or friends or people in your life are going to think about you making a change that's better for yourself. We taught to save ourselves and save our family. Never knew a religion that could be permissively selfish, like save yourself and save your family. And I'm going to give you an example before I answer her question. It's kind of like on an airplane. When the oxygen mask come down, obviously that rule wasn't made by a mother, right? Because a mother would say, save the child first and then put the mask on yourself. They tell you to put the mask on yourself and then put the mask on a small child. And I use that example only to tell you that this is an example that doesn't need any type of religious support to give you the simplicity, the understanding, the permissibility of being selfish in regards of saving yourself. Because in all actuality, you can't save no one until you're saved. You understand? Now, as far as my family actually, I would say, because I've been on my own since I was like 15, so you can't get mad and kick me out and all that type of stuff. So I'm not worried about being homeless. I know most people that ain't accepting this one on my family will kick me out. I have to go live with the Muslims. But in my case, I think it kind of enhanced my relationship, not only with my family, but my peers as well. Because none of these people ever knew me to be a follower. I never was a follower, you know what I'm saying? I said in the beginning I was inspired or influenced by people who were in the community doing things that, was unlawful. But never conspiring to follow them or never followed anybody. So for someone to see me give up that, and a lot of people that was in the industry who knew me and knew, the measure of success that I had, knew that, he ain't just trade that in for nothing. Because he had it. It was there for him. Nobody was challenging it. Nobody was taking it from me. I wasn't losing it. I just took a break, Basically left on a good record, too. I didn't leave on a whack record. The last record I did before I quit music was a top 10 smash. So basically, anybody that know me know I wasn't a follower. And for me to accept a religion and basically engulf myself in practicing a religion, it kind of showed, for the most case with my family, that he's found something. He's serious. My grandmother, she used to worry a lot about me. She would hear sirens and stuff and just call me in the middle of the night. Even when I was in the music business, a business that was supposed to be like, you protect it. You got all these muscle guys with earplugs, talking about I'm with the client now, we're walking, she would think that I was safe. But even then she worried. But for now, since I became Muslim, she doesn't worry. And she knows that I'm content with what I'm upon. She knows that my manners and everything, like my patience, I wasn't a patient person. I wasn't really like the most patient person. You know, I used to have a short fuse. I was a little bipolar. You know, but for me to have such an enhanced calm now and all these things is definitely a nickname from Allah. And likewise with my peers, they never known me to be a follower. So for the most part, I receive very much good energy from my peers, and I actually speak to Puff still. You know, I can tell y'all quickly the story of my conversation with Puff. It was kind of funny because, you know, I know this guy. And when he invited me to come to his hotel and talk, I'm saying, man, here we go, man. I don't want to be in that environment because I know with the hotel entails, you're going to have some guy ironing your pants, everybody scurrying around trying to get Puff ready for the show. And it's not a real good environment to try to gift out, you know. And at the same token, I'm thinking, okay, you're going to try to be funny, so I'm going to get the most crispiest white thobe I got. I'm going to put like a half a bottle of olive oil in my left ear. I'm going to shine, baby. You can see this dude is a Muslim, real. You know what I mean? I was feeling like I had to represent the whole Ummah. So when I got there, it just bugged me out because he asked me some very, very intelligent questions. Questions that I knew he was sizing things up because I know him, you know. Because he was like, what kind of Muslim is you? I was like, well, to be honest with you, you know, I'm not the Nation of Islam. In case you wonder, like, no, that's why I asked, you know, what kind of Muslim is you? I said, well, you know, I'm a Muslim that follows the correct methodology of Islam. So he was like, yeah, well, okay. So why, you know, why do dudes be fighting? You know what I'm saying? Why do, you know, Sunni and Shia be fighting? I said, well, to be honest with you, it's similar to how we used to roll. Remember, we used to be an entourage. We have our little crew. We know how to act when we together. We go certain places. But there's always that one individual in the crew that then invited somebody that shouldn't be there. And he come and just spoil everything. And what happened? Who they blame? Like, yeah, I understand that. So yeah, they blame Puff. Puff get the check. Not the guy, you know. He been drunk, crashed up everything, and now they blame the whole bad boy. So this is, you know, because he was like, you know, he was asking me like, you know, why is it a difference? And I was like, well, you have some people that choose to follow what's correct, and you have some people that choose to deviate from this understanding. And one of the tricky questions is like, who the Muslim without the beards though? Now, this is a size up question because he's saying, I don't want to rock the beard, but I'm saying if I were to be one, who would they be? That was the science behind the question. So, you know, some people just don't grow hair. So, you know, alhamdulillah, then the real turning point in the conversation is when I told him about Dave Chappelle walking away from $50 million, you know, to accept Islam. And in the industry, we was all well aware of Dave not renegotiating his contract to do another season of Dave Chappelle, but nobody really knew, because he just kind of like vanished. So when I told that to Puff, it kind of confirmed something that was lingering in his head. He got stuck, like, yo, that's his tax bracket, you know, 50 million. I don't know, he ain't had 50 million. That man had 50 million, so he like, man, 50 million. Wow. So I remember leaving, and he said something I thought he would never say. He was like, yo, man, take care of yourself, yo, I love you. Like, yo, I love this dude too, but I'm like, we don't do that. We don't say that. But you know, it's a Muslim, had to have good manners, so I replied the same. You know, I love you too, man. And you know, that was the conclusion of our first encounter as me, a Muslim, and him still Diddy. So, any other questions? Because we got about 20 more minutes. If y'all don't ask something, I'm going to start picking on y'all.